This video is about uh, learning ways to determine whether a website that you're visiting has credible information or not. So the question to answer is, how do you know if something is true? Now we know that truth and trust and credibility can be different for different people, but if you're so questions like, is there a God, and um, what's the meaning of life may have different answers to different people, but for things like news or scientific fact, there's generally a greater level of truth than on some websites than others, because as we already know, anyone can make a website or post on Wikipedia, so some people posted whatever the heck they wanted. Um, and it can also be how you look at things. For example, if you were to Google distance to moon, you will get different answers. Site number one, average of 382,500 kilometers. Then we go to 384, between 225 and 252 miles, average of 238. So what makes these ones different? Well, it could be different recording techniques. Maybe some people rounded versus averaged. Could be different symbols and measuring techniques. If someone measured from the center of the Earth to the center of the moon, as opposed to surface of the Earth to surface to moon, it could be different resolutions, different systems of measurement. We use miles in America. Other countries use the metric system with kilometers. So what you need to do is really think about when you're searching, how necessary is it that you have a precise quality answer. Um, like if you say, how much should I save up to buy that new phone? Maybe saving money is difficult for your situation. So you need to know the exact dollar amount, and maybe it's not, and you can just save, like, you can look at what the most expensive phone is that you think you might want and save up to that. Um, what do I need to know for my report on the Civil War? Depending on your teacher, you might need something more precise. Anytime you want recipes, like homemade kettle corn, you, again, may need things to be a little bit more precise, or maybe not. Different people have different recipes. So that's the first thing to think about. Second thing, what do I know about the author or organization providing this information? Do they have any um, validity, any authority, any background to them? Or are they just a random person? Now that's not to say that something from random people can't be trusted, but it's just something to think about. Also, why was this page created? What was its purpose? Is its mission statement appear to be information, persuasion? Are they trying to sell something? Are they trying to take down someone or something else? Or is there some other reason as yet to be determined? So when you're looking at a site and trying to determine whether it's credible or not, first figure out who wrote and published the page. See if there's an about page on there or a contact page to see if there's a biography, or if it's an organization's page. Look at the site address. Even though it's easier to register web domains now, check to see if it's actually a .com, like which website extension it has. Most website extensions anyone can register for, but a site that's .edu, um, you can't automatically register for. That has to be approved as an actual educational organization. Visit the site's homepage. If you're looking for articles and it goes to a subsection of the page, go back to the homepage and see what it looks like. Google the author or organization. Can you find anything else by that person? Use the search operator link : and then the website address, because it will tell you any other websites that link back to this one. If nothing links back to this, maybe it's not credible. If lots of places, reputable places, link to it, that can be a good sign that it is credible. And just ask yourself after you find out about who wrote it, is this the right person to give you good information? If you can't find all that, some people post perfectly good stuff without listing those sort of things. Try and find another source to back up what it's saying. Figure out what type of page. Um, is it a personal page? Is it a business page? Look for, is it not a hoax, but like a spoof or a parody page? Um, Look for bibliography or a list of sources cited. Check the date. Confirm in our friend, Snopes.com. Gotta love that site. See if there's anything that you know is wrong or too good to be true. And just think. Use common sense, and a lot of times you can find uh, there's something wrong with that. So, using the tips you've learned, let's take a look and see if these websites are true or hoaxes. All right, SETI at Home. SETI is short for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. So, looking for aliens. First thing I'm going to check is the domain. It says the word SETI at Home, so that helps. And it's also a subsite of, or subdomain of the berkeley.edu website. Since it's a .edu, it means there's quality standards, so I'm more likely to trust it. There are rules and policies. It wants to install a program, which makes me a little bit concerned, but because sometimes that could be malware hiding. Uh, but I see there's dates on here. I see it's run by the University of California, Berkeley, and I know that's got to be verified because it's a .edu domain. It's hard to get that. Let's see, what else can I find here? About the about SETI.home, SETI at home. This information, previous SETI projects. So I'm going to check the links to see if they are all internal or external. These ones are all internal. I can tell. Oh, wait. Or at the very least, they stay within Berkeley's website. That doesn't mean that they're BS, but it could. External links are a little bit more validating. All right, these are papers that are still hosted on the home domain, but if I were to click on some of them, just pick a couple at random. These are papers that are posted by a number of people who I could Google, and it seems to be pretty legit. And it's a number of different people, and it shows where things appeared that I could go look up if I was really concerned. It also gives information about the project personnel. Now, just because you see a name and a picture doesn't mean that the name goes with the picture. So another technique, checking multiple sources, is I can go to Google and either look up different images, and I only see the one for him at SETI. The other stuff comes up kind of weird. What if I went to the web? So here's his SETI at home, his Facebook. Here's an outside website that does an interview with him. He's in the Huffington Post. Huffington Post is like a online newspaper sort of thing. So the fact that there's a number of articles that involve him makes him look a little more valid. So it does give us information about who runs the program and their information. So I would say that SETI at home is probably pretty valid. What about this one? What is this? Dihydrogen Monoxide Research Division. That sounds fancy. Currently located in Newark, Delaware. Unbiased data clearinghouse and a forum for public discussion. Sounds good. Let's see, last updated recently. However, I look at this note. Content veracity not implied. If I didn't know what veracity, I'm not sure what veracity means. So I'm going to look that up. Veracity means accuracy. So it says content accuracy not implied. So it sounds like they're actually saying that this is a lie. Let's take a look. Hydric acid. Should I be concerned? Yes. Although the CDC doesn't consider it toxic. It's a constituent of many known toxic substances. So this looks pretty scary, but do I see any about pages? These are just special reports. What's in the press kit? All these links look valid, that he's a computer science professor, where he earned his PhD from. However, if you look at what it says for the website's purpose, the original purpose of the site was as a sort of writer's therapy to blow off steam about all the devious and sometimes just ignorant ways the truth is bent to prove a point by some in the media, politics, sales, environmental activism, organized religion, website authoring. Blow off steam is, I know, is an idiom that means he's just spouting crap, essentially. The goal became to educate and to promote cautious consumption of information and an active skepticism about what we read, see, and hear. As such, the site is not a hoax or prank, but is an educational tool. So, reading between the lines, this is the information on here is not to be believed. It's more of a parody or a satire, but it's not. Yeah, it's a satire because if you know anything about chemistry, I can't remember what the D stands for. Dihydrogen means two hydrogen, and monoxide means one oxygen. So the chemical formula is H2O. So dihydrogen monoxide is water. And we know water is not toxic and causes cancer and all this stuff. So it's satirical. But it looks pretty good. So hopefully that should give you a little bit of background in techniques for testing the credibility of a website. Now put that application into practice with the rest of your quest.